Your freshman year of college is going to be one of the most interesting and memorable experiences in your life, but before you get there, you have to start off strong with a great first week to make sure you're in shape for a great year. And keep in mind, some of these are going to be UNC specific, but the majority of them can apply to most universities. The first thing is to attend interest meetings in anything that you are even remotely interested in. As a freshman, I only really went to interest meetings for clubs that I really thought that I would fit into and that I was almost certain that I would join. After discovering some more clubs in sophomore and junior year that I fit into more than those ones initially, I realized that I should have just gone to any club that had just anything that I was interested in. Whether that was if it was related to my major or just a random interest I had, like the aviation club was a thing in my freshman year, or even for other stuff like fraternities and sororities. The reason I say this is because there's literally no harm in it. Yeah, you might have to socialize with some people and it's maybe 30 minutes or an hour of your day, but in the first couple weeks of college, you're not going to be that busy with homework. So just go on Heal Life or ask at Fall Fest what interest meetings are, put them on your calendar, go to them, and you never know who you're going to meet that you really click with, or you might just end up really liking the vibe. And getting involved early is huge, both socially and just for your overall college experience. The next thing is to figure out transportation. Now, chances are, since it's your freshman year, you don't have a car, and even if you do, you probably don't have a campus permit. So you're gonna have to take the bus or whatever the local transit is in your university. And I thought this was straightforward at first. I could just put my destination into Google Maps and do what it says, but it's not. There's a lot of different bits and pieces involved, and after a while, you really do learn which routes are worth taking and which ones aren't, which buses are usually late. But getting ahead of the game, figuring that out first is massive. I'm going to have a video up in a couple weeks going through a detailed guide of Chapel Hill Transit because it really can be confusing at first, and I know a lot of freshmen just avoid taking it all together and walk to main campus, but once you start to use it, it does get really efficient, so stay tuned for that. And there might also be scenarios where you just keep taking the same route over and over again to get from your dorm to class, but there might actually be one that's faster on some other days, but you're just missing that altogether because you don't want to try something new. Try it. First week is the best time to explore that. Try to avoid walking if it's really not necessary, just so you can get experience with transit, because there are going to be times, especially in winter and when it's raining, that is just going to be annoying to walk. Number 3, don't spend too much time in the library. Sure, go to the library if you have a little bit of homework to do or if you just want to explore it and get used to it. Especially in freshman year, I promise in your first week you are not going to get that much work. The first 2 days are going to be syllabus days where they just go over what the class is and they're not really going to assign anything. If they do, it's probably just introductory reading. So soak up that time while you can and do other stuff besides being in the library. Because trust me, later in the semester, those libraries are going to become your home and you're going to not have time to do anything else, so use it while you can. Speaking of classes, if you didn't get the exact schedule that you wanted to and you're just going to roll with whatever you got through registration, don't. There might still be hope to get the ideal schedule that you wanted. Keep checking Port School in Connect, Carolina for UNC every single day, honestly every single hour, just to see if that class has opened up, and if it does, snag it real quick. Don't worry about having to drop classes in the first week because everyone does it. There's no penalty unless you do it like 3 weeks after the semester starts. So again, you really can just use that first week to explore different classes, enroll in 17 or 18 credits at the beginning if you want. Go to the first class for all of them and then see which ones you really want. Don't actually take 18 credits. Just kind of filter them out that way than just judging it by the course description or the syllabus, because actually hearing the professor talk gives you a much better indicator. And it's always worth a shot to email the professor if the class still stays closed, because during the first week some of them are allowed to make additions to their class if the student expresses interest. The next thing, and this kind of doubles as a move-in tip too, but don't pack every single thing that you think you'll need. Obviously pack the essentials and a few decor stuff and your electronics and things like that. But I definitely overpacked when moving in. I didn't use like a fourth of the stuff that I brought for the entire year. Like there are plates that just lied in my drawer from August to May. Really just bring what you need for those first couple weeks, and then during those weeks, see what you're using, see what you're not using. You can always buy stuff on campus or Amazon, or if you live close to home, you can go back and get it. So throughout that first week, just keep tweaking your dorm so your dorm isn't cluttered up by stuff that you're never actually going to use. Number 6 is to don't overstress about making a ton of friends this early. Sure, like I said, go to interest meetings, try to meet people, try to make friends. But I saw far too many people that after their first week, they're like, oh my god, I don't know anyone, college is going to be miserable, I'm going to have no friends. No, that is not the case. While it is true that the first few weeks of college are the time that most people are looking for other friends, that does not mean you can't make them later. Honestly, some of the people that I thought I would be friends with throughout college in the first week, I haven't talked to since the end of freshman year. And there are people that I met in my classes in my second semester junior year that I'm pretty close friends with now. So make the effort, but just know it's not the end of the world at all. You don't form close friendships, because that's something that happens over time, and it honestly happens in the most unexpected ways. So number 7, free stuff everywhere. Go to Fall Fest. I know some people thought it was like cool in freshman year to skip it and stuff. Don't do that. Go to Fall Fest, talk to all the booths you can, even the ones you're not really interested in. Get free t-shirts, get free stickers, get all of that. I had a stockpile in my dorm that I used stuff from through the entire year. It was the most random stuff too, like notebooks, flashlights, colored pencils, but they might be useful at some point. So utilize Fall Fest to your advantage. And also, I mean, talk to clubs there and interact with people, but also free stuff. And this doesn't just go for that either. There's going to be people giving out stuff on the pit, on the quad during class change. So just stop by those booths as well. And online too, take advantage of Adobe Creative Cloud for free. Take advantage of all of the other stuff that the university gives you access to. Like the UL gives you a bunch of tech that you can rent if you want. I think you get access to the New York Times for free, or Washington Post, one of them. But just use that to your advantage because that is one of the best perks of going to an actual university. Number 8, literally just explore. I cannot tell you how many people just went from their dorm to classes to maybe a couple restaurants in their first week and stuck to that. Don't do that. Just literally walk around the entirety of campus. This is going to be your home for your next 4 years. Might as well get to know it now. I guarantee you're going to find a part of campus that you did not know existed. Find some hidden gems for food, both on and off campus. Discover places that you could use to study later on that aren't just in the main libraries. Like at UNC, the FedEx Center. I discovered that in my first week and I've used it since then. Go to sports games that aren't just basketball and football. Obviously basketball isn't going to be there, but there'll be like one football game in the first week, but there'll also be a ton of soccer games, volleyball games. So go to them, especially if you are a fan of the professional version of that sport. You might end up liking the college version too. I thought I wouldn't like college soccer, but I do now. And shameless promo for Carolina Fever, which I am the marketing chair for. Go to Fever games, earn Fever points. Number 9, stay your first weekend on campus. Especially if you've made a few friends already or you came into college with a few friends from high school. Stay that first weekend with them, or even if you're just by yourself, there's going to be a ton of things that UNC or whatever college is probably going to be putting on that weekend. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you can do at night. There's going to be a lot more free time to explore, to go to different restaurants, to see what's in the area right off campus a little bit, to meet people, to hang out, all of that. And I'm telling you this as someone that did not stay their first weekend on campus. I know a lot of us who live not too far from campus, like I live 30 minutes away, tend to go home on that first weekend. I would not recommend doing that because I came back that following Monday and I felt like I missed so much. And number 10, something that I definitely wish that I did, is to start to develop a routine. As you start getting your class schedule finalized, think about what you can do before and after class, when you can fit the gym in every week, what times and days you're going to eat. Obviously, this will fluctuate week by week and when you're meeting people and have club activities and things like that. But just everything that you know is concrete, put it on a calendar and then start putting what your ideal week, given all of that, would be, accounting for club meetings, time to eat, time to hang out, time to do work, etc. Doing so is going to give you a lot more guidance going into those next few weeks because that, to me, was probably the most confusing time. Schoolwork was starting to pick up and a lot more people were forming friend groups. There's less provided stuff to do on campus. So obviously, like I said, you don't have to follow it to the hour, but just use it as a rough guide to keep in mind going forward. And I guarantee you that'll help you be way more productive and have more fun in your first semester. But yeah, there are definitely a ton more, but those are, I think, the 10 most important tips to keep in mind in your first week. Enjoy the hell out of it, make the most of it. It only happens once. And in a couple weeks, let me know how it went, and if you have any questions about college, UNC life, whatever, always hit me up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you later. Peace out.